Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to our band show. I'm your host, Christian Ivanko, and it's incredible to be with you guys on our 29th episode this evening. We're joined by an amazing band from Catskill, New York, called Of the Atlas. I think you guys will hear a lot of rock and roll from yesteryear, but then you'll also hear some special ingredients that really make this a truly unique sound, one that I think stands out in this great genre of rock and roll, which has such a long history, as we all know. And we'll talk a little musical history, we'll get to know the band, and so much more later on in the episode. But for now, it's our pleasure to introduce for the first time this evening with their first song, Easy Ride, Of the Atlas. Take it away, guys.
So I guess I'm gonna have to think this through. The weight is heavy on my shoulders, but it's all in my head. Then serotonin come to greet me instead. It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? Whoa. The surge is coming, I can sense it when I'm taking my time. Yeah, I can sense it when you're wrecking your mind. The same old thief that's always trying to take it from me. But I got some news, my friend, reluctantly. It's not happening this time. It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? Whoa. Change up the plan. It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? It's an easy ride if you take it. Why try to change up the plan? Whoa. Won't you reassemble the fortress, defeated the fabled virtue? Turn it on, rise, bring on your fire tonight. give what you can. Yeah, you will see all these busted up promises. It's not just an accident, no, this time it's meant to be. Turn it on, rise, bring all your fire tonight. Give what you can and that's worth your need. Reach from around this double shell nucleus. Just give what you can. Won't you reassemble the fortress, defeated the fabled virtue? Oh, turn it on, rise, bring all your fire tonight. Give what you can and that's what you need. Reach from around this double shell nucleus. Just give what you can, oh yeah. Give what you can. Oh. Dormant form and sound. When I sketch these forest trees and I color into the clouds, I've been taken oh so graciously. When the captain's racing mind is probably still asleep. Oh, this auditory freeze, short circuit memory, the nonsense in my cave is extracted gently. With this current state of mind, when alternatives seem scarce, but they still seem to arise. Whoa. This auditory freeze, short circuit memory. can't wait. Oh, in your crib, no competition crib. In your crib, no competition crib. This auditory free short circuit memory.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. Jay, Evan, and Justin of the Atlas, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Christian.
Of course. Absolutely great. I mean, you guys have been around for a little while, and you can tell, anyone listening, I think, can clearly tell that there is just a core essence that is the band, but it's hard to say that it's a shared group chemistry of a long period of time. I know that you were telling me, Jay, that Evan was in the band at one point and this, that, and the other. So I want to start tonight by all that to say, giving the origin story of the Atlas. So Jay, you are the founding member as far as I know. So I'd like you to start us off tonight and leave no stone unturned, please.
Over a decade ago, I started making songs when I was like laid off from my job on a crappy acoustic guitar, kind of had at home, and making home recordings. And then eventually I kind of put a lineup together and started playing shows. Didn't really last long, so I moved down to Ulster County, and I recorded the first record on an old iPhone 4 or something that my mom gave me, some old refurbished phone, and that started like getting me lineups and shows. And then I don't know.
Is that record available anywhere?
Yeah, it's on Spotify and everything. It's the self-titled 2015 record.
Wow.
With Breathe as the first song, which is the second song we played tonight. And then kind of like, play shows for a while, put out some records, and then eventually, Evan has had 10 years in the band. We've stayed in touch about all that, and throughout his move to Utah and such. And Justin has been producing the band longer than anybody's been involved in it, which I think is, I want to say 2017 or 18. Yeah. So he produced the last 3 albums, recorded at his studio, New York Drum Studio. And now the producers in the band, and my buddy's back and feeling good.
That's amazing. So where did the inspiration for Of the Atlas come from?
I kept being in these like kind of short-lived bands where people just they were really talented, but they didn't want to do it for more than just fun. And I didn't necessarily think there was a lucrative career involved necessarily, but I just wanted to do it on a more, involved level. Like just, I just want to do this all the time. It makes me happy. And yeah, I don't know. It's just something you do because you love it.
So you had a hard time in your 20s, and when did you start playing?
I started playing when I was like 12, but
Oh wow!
and
Okay.
I had a high school band, and we did some things like CBGBs and the Chants and a few other places, but once you get out of high school and real life happens, it's just harder to do this. So I just figured out an alternate way. If I could just keep doing the project, no matter who's busy. A lot of people have, real life stuff going on as well as I do, but, it's an easier way to keep a band going,
For sure. And had you been writing that whole period in between high school and starting of the Atlas in your early 30s?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. But you just never had a concrete group of guys to share that music with?
Yeah, it was, I think I started this band when I was 29. And so it was like, you're already in adult world, you're already like kind of going through a bunch of jobs that you don't like everybody else. And you just figured, well, might as well do what you love to do as opposed to just, be another spoke on the wheel kind of thing,
Yeah, totally. So I want to jump to Evan next, who was in the band at one point, took some time away, and has now rejoined the band. What's been your journey with Of the Atlas?
Yeah, that kind of sums it up. I've stumbled upon him through like some mutual people we knew in the music scene in Kingston. And it was kind of a natural fit. We played together for about a year, and I recorded a couple songs on one of the EPs or albums.
Yep. The Mountain EP. Yeah, Evan was the
Yeah, I was
bassist
on the original Tire Fire, I believe. And then, I graduated from college, got a job out in Utah, gave some notice and moved away, and we kept in touch. I moved back. He was still kind of kicking around with a few other. He had some good lineups through the years. So I was kind of doing my own thing. Kind of took a break from music for my career, and I had a lot of personal stuff going on. And then just recently rejoined like mid last year, maybe. I don't even think I'm back a year.
You've been back since September?
Yeah, something like that.
Amazing. And Justin, I've heard ad nauseum that you've been the producer, and the records sound great. How does the producer become the drummer?
Just hanging around long enough.
Okay.
I mean, that's no. But I've known Jay for a really, really long period of time. And especially like when I was just starting to understand how to record, Jay was nice enough to let me record an album with him. And that just kind of started building a relationship between the two of us. And it just has kept on going and going, throughout the past, several years now.
And have you drummed on all of the Atlas released material?
So not every song. There are some songs. So the first album that I worked with Jay on, there was one song that I played some drums on at the end. And then the second album, there was a few more songs. And I was trading off with his then drummer at the time. And then the current album is the same sort of thing. So, I mean, that's like the one thing about having the convenience of like a studio in your home where it's like, hey, this song needs some drums. I can just walk right downstairs and do it.
So as the producer and now the drummer, how do you kind of marry those two roles? What informs your drumming that you used to do on the producing side, or vice versa? What comes to mind? Because you are wearing two pretty big roles for the band.
I mean, like in any band I've ever been in, when I approach drums, I'm thinking about the song as a whole. And the drums are just merely one piece of it. And that's one of the things that I really love about recording is that now it's like you can see the whole picture. And it's like, oh, I hear this synth coming in at the end and this big climatic, outro. And then it becomes, as a drummer, well, how can the drums help and achieve this kind of big climatic outro that I'm hearing in my head? Or on this past album, Jay had this acoustic song that was really great. And then I started just hearing, well, what if we added drums to it? And next thing you know, like another piece to it and another piece to it. And then that became Time and Space, where it became this full band song that really started out as just an acoustic song. And just having the ability to kind of do that in your own home is just so powerful now because, you can go and experiment and have fun with it and just see where the song's going to take you.
It's no rush.
Yeah. Yeah. But you want to get stuff done. You definitely do.
Yeah, totally. Now, last question regarding the sound and the origin story before I kick it over to another topic. But I'm curious, Jay, was the intention always to be a three-piece? You guys put out a lot of sound for just three people, but talk to me about the arrangement that we're seeing and hearing tonight.
This was initially made to be a four-piece. I've had synth players and I've had other guitar players, and it's easier to manage with three people. I think the having a delay pedal probably helps with filling in some sound that I didn't do before because I had another guitarist and it was just reverb. I don't know, just like we figured we could just put, we can do it as a three-piece and figure it out. But that doesn't mean it won't be other things at points. It has a way of, this band has a way of like, coming in and out of different, I don't know what the word is, like different iterations, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I could see us playing with a synth player or another guitar player again. I could see, or not, like just whatever happens. Really, that's the kind of the fun of this.
Nice, totally. Now I have a few questions coming up about what are the band's influences, some folks or musicians that may have inspired them. But before we do so, we just want to take a moment to thank all of you for being here and welcome to our band show. This is episode 29. Again, we're live with Of the Atlas, and we just appreciate your patronage this evening. So if you like what you're watching right now, and if you like the music you're hearing, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It would greatly help our channel and the band. Now, with that said, what are some of your guys' influences? It could be a record or a specific artist. I'm just curious to see kind of what has inspired some of the sound we're hearing tonight. Jay, let's start with you.
I started out with a lot of classic rock, and then it was kind of like when I was a little kid, it was like 90s alternative indie kind of stuff.
Like who?
Dinosaur Jr. and like Sonic Youth and Pavement and stuff like that. And of course,
I
Nirvana.
feel like I hear some pacing. I'm sorry. I feel like I hear some pacing in your guitar playing that may come from some hours listening to Dinosaur Jr.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Billy Corgan, and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
You know what's funny about Billy Corgan? Until I saw them live, I did not realize he was such an accomplished lead guitar player.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's so good. If you watch like any bootlegs on YouTube with him from like 92 to 96, he's just shredding.
That's what he does.
Hell yeah. But everybody went through their post-hardcore phase too, and
Yeah, sorry, Mom.
yeah, exactly. My mom hated Earth Crisis because he screamed so hard, and she didn't realize he was anti-drugs. He sounded like a demon.
That's a classic band in
Hell
that
yeah.
genre.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was that straight edge kid in high school until stuff. Anyway, so but like I think somewhere in my mid-20s, I discovered my Morning Jacket and the fact they were all over the place. And I know we don't sound like them, but just the idea that every song is a different style, and it made me want to try different stuff. Like I never did synth loops or programmed drums on a recording before, things like that, or then going from that to like a folk song, But yeah, it was like I heard my Morning Jacket Z.
Oh, great record.
Yeah, and oddly, their engineer on that record is one of the sound guys at Avalon Lounge in Catskill, Matthew Cullen, which is pretty crazy.
One of your regular haunts, right?
Yeah, and it was just I didn't know that until 6 months after I met him or something. After he did sound for us and stuff at the venue. But I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything new. I really like anything that Walter Streifels does. Quicksand Rival Schools, stuff like that. He was an early hardcore guy and straight edge, Gorilla Biscuits and stuff. But
Yeah. Harkening back to the CBGB's touch point from earlier.
Yeah, the place was awesome to play as a little kid.
Unreal, you got to do that. That's truly a bucket list venue.
So I heard it was closing, and I knew it was coming up. So I tried to get a show there quick, and they were like, the only thing open is the acoustic gallery next door. So I took it, but then I ran to the main stage on the other side, and I pulled a piece of the stage off, like a little piece, just to have it. I think it's in my parents' attic somewhere, like this many years later. But yeah, I don't know. I love CBGBs. That's where everybody went through. And
Amazing.
yeah.
Justin, let's talk about your influences.
So I am a child of the 90s, so I just grew up loving like grunge, like all of that Seattle scene and a couple bands that were outside of it. But yeah, like my first like band that I just loved was Nirvana. And I think that growing up listening to Dave Grohl, especially the Dave Grohl records like In Utero, Nevermind, obviously, just kind of shaped my drumming from an early age because that's just what I grew up on. But also bands like Soundgarden, like Matt Cameron, like just amazing drummers were just around at that time. And I remember when I started playing drums, there was one particular Stone Temple Pilots album, Purple. And at the end of the song, there's this one song that has this break in it and this like big drum fill in it. And I just remembered that was like a goal I'd set for myself where it's like, when I can play that drum fill, I'll know I'm a good drummer. But it's just like that sound has just been like such a part of like my musical journey. And I still go back and just listen to all those CDs. Well, CDs, yeah, where are those things? But like listening to all those songs like on streaming. Yeah, and I just love it.
Yeah, big sound, big drums, and that's definitely what I'm hearing tonight as well.
Thank you.
And it's fantastic. Evan, what about you?
For me, Red Hot Chili Peppers, like early to mid-career stuff has probably been the most influential. Like if not for Flea, I don't think I would be a bass player, at least not still doing it. Blood Sugar Sex Magic, my favorite album of all time. I love funk stuff like old Funkadelic. Ben Folds is one of my favorite artists, Ben Folds 5. Alex G is one of my favorite current artists. Really eclectic, kind of all over the place. Bluegrass stuff, Eugene Tyler Band, Deep Chatham are some of my favorites. Cake, it's kind of runs the gamut, but in terms of like just influential, it's Flea like almost 100%.
Amazing. Well, let's hear how you guys put all those influences together. Let's jump back into another set of music. So let's take it away with the first song of the next set, Fuel for the Time Machine by Of the Atlas, live on our band show. Take it away, guys.
I'm going with it now. Might be the last aloud. The lucky number is 7 forming in the clouds. In the back of my mind, or maybe in my spine, the numb unconscious decision not to see the sign. Worth the way to be with you here today. Getting fuel for the time machine. Now she's kissing my face in supernatural ways, magnetic, atomic in her energy. In the back of my mind, or maybe in my spine, the numb unconscious decision not to see the sign. Worth the way to be with you here today. Getting fuel for the time machine. Worth the way to be with you here today. Getting fuel for the time machine. machine. Work the way to be living here today. Feeling fuel for the time machine. Feeling fuel for the time machine. So I know it's your name now, but I'm sticking to the truth in part. To feed upon the light, I think neon knows to fold the darkness and it dices it up on the grain. Solid neon beam. When wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you owned everything, would you really have a peace of mind? When wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you own everything, would you really have a peace of mind? So I know it's your name now, but you're from the unknown belief. They sure are playing games with us, with all the weight upon the axis and a serpent too weak to hold on. A circus gone wrong. When wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you owned everything, would you really have a peace of mind? When wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you owned everything, would you really have a peace of mind? Wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you owned everything, would you really have a peace of mind? Wants become needs, take a step beyond it. This capital dependency. So if you owned everything, would you really have a peace of mind? Whoa. Wants become needs, take a step beyond it. Wants become needs, take a step beyond it. Okay, quick guitar change.
This is live, ladies and gentlemen. Is it okay for levels? Okay. All right, this song's called Calming.
Amazing. And that's live broadcasting. True rock and rollers play through a string break, just like we just saw, without missing a beat. And that was truly special to see you nail that solo despite the string just flailing in your face, man. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you. That was improvised.
Of course. No, it was that was, I know you probably didn't want that to happen, but that was a cool moment.
Thank you.
Very cool to see your knowledge of the guitar in full display there. And I'm going to bring in someone else who's pretty knowledgeable, my co-producer, Patrick W. Huber. Pat, how you doing?
Doing great this fine evening, and glad to be contributing to the Hudson Valley and beyond music scene here tonight with episode 29.
Yes, sir. Episode 29. Can you believe it? Joined by Of the Atlas live on our band show. And we're just going to jump right back into the conversation. I'll start it off, Pat, then you can take the next question. I've been dying to know if someone has never heard you guys before and they ask you, hey, tell me a little bit about your band. You want to suggest them a song, right? What's the one song you might pick? And let's go around the room. This time, let's start with Evan.
I'd probably go with Teleputer. It's one of our newer songs, but I feel like it just has such a good energy to it, and it's just a great live song. Just playing to an audience, especially, it's great.
Amazing. So they might want to catch a live show paired with that, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the one. Come out.
For sure, for sure. Justin, what about you?
I would probably agree with Teleputer. Yeah, I would probably say that, just because, I mean, the verse in it, like the rhythm like of it, it makes it sound like it's kind of like odd meter, but it's kind of not. But it has like a lot of different parts, and then it has like that big climatic ending to it, which I'm a sucker for in songs.
It's just fun to play.
It's just fun to play, yeah.
No peer pressure, Jay. But if you agree, then you agree. What's your choice?
I mean, for the newer stuff, that's my favorite too. But I'm sentimental toward "Breathe" and
I knew it.
"Easy Ride," probably. Yeah,
Nice.
they're, yeah.
Awesome. Pat, how you been back there? I know you've been enjoying. I've been seeing you on the picture-in-picture rocking out.
Yeah, this has been a great 2 sets so far, and I'm looking forward to the second half of the show once we're done with this interview here. But fantastic music, and I think I can agree that all your music is something that the audience should get into. It is really pretty stellar. To talk about your family and their experience with you being in this band, and if there's any special occasions or experiences that you had that's kind of family related, because you're making this great music.
With how our families view us playing in bands, you're saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's probably tricky if you're a parent, I would assume, because it's easier just to go to college, get a 4-year degree, and then just do that, and that alone. But I think my parents have gotten used to it over the years. I don't know. I feel like at first it was kind of strange, but I don't know. I think they got used to it. They're supportive.
That's cool. And from what you told me, the music they like, I mean, they have to be proud.
I mean, my uncle, my mom, and my dad all influenced me with different music, and this band is a mix of those 3 things. And my own experience and my own friends, obviously, but yeah.
Nice. What is something that your biggest fans might not know about, a little inside joke or something that you guys share together as a band? Like, how do you guys bond?
I don't know. There's just general jokes. Maybe it's me rambling about silly wrestling or video games or something stupid sometimes. Anything to not be politics, because we don't do politics in this band, with this band. Maybe individually outside of this band we do, but not with this band. So I don't know. That song "Tire Fire" came from us. One of the lineups coming like playing outside of Uncle Willie's bar in Kingston when we were starting out, and we kept saying "Catskill Tire Fire" like 20, like over and over again, acting silly, and then I just made it the song title for this song, even though it really has nothing to do with the Catskill Tire Fire of 1990, I think it was, or something. I don't know.
We're going to sidetrack here. What is the Catskill Tire Fire?
I guess there was behind where like Walmart is. There was some kind of thing, and it just wouldn't stop. So we all had to evacuate when I was a little kid. So I don't know why that became such a thing, but it was one of those just stupid things you repeat a million times when you're acting silly, Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other silly jokes, but I don't know. We get together. We're all business sometimes, which is good.
I think we just bond over writing songs and playing music collectively. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Like when we're together, we're playing music, and that's, I mean, that's great in itself, but that's really like, it's not to say like that's the extent of it. I mean, like music's like everything. I mean, when you are together in these situations, like that's what we want to be doing because that's where our passion is. So that's really what we're bonding over.
Nice. I love that.
It's a lot of technical stuff. Like when I talk to Justin, I'm constantly asking him technical things and stuff like that. I don't know.
Hey,
where's the record button?
That's what's fun to us.
That's the record button. There you go.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Pat, I'm going to turn it over to you for another question.
Okay.
We can't hear him again.
Where'd Pat go?
Let's keep
Pat?
the train of thought going.
There's Pat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm here. Let's keep this train of thought going. Basically, in terms of the creative process, when you get together and you start to write a song, why don't you describe that process? Like, what does it start with? Like a couple song lyrics from Jay, or does it start with some music from everybody else, Justin, Evan? How does that process really go, like start to finish, for creating a song?
I generally sit on my couch a little stoned and drink coffee, and I write song skeletons, and then I have like a rough idea, and then we kind of hash it out, and then we just record it. But sometimes we don't like the arrangement, so we'll go back and rearrange some things, like Demons. Justin and I spent some extra time on arranging. We didn't like what I initially did, but you know, sometimes it's usually a few that I'm very specific, and then there's a bunch that I'm not so specific on. So it really just depends on like how much I'm feeling this song or something. Is, you know, if it's so near and dear to my heart, and like it's hard to, you know, let it go. And then, but like Time and Space, like Justin was saying, it was something. I didn't want drums on it at first. I was kind of like weird about it, and then he just showed it to me when he did it, and I was like, oh, it all makes sense now, you know. So it's kind of like that thing.
Nice. And what did you share, a demo? And so then, Justin, you took it upon yourself. You got inspired. You heard a drum part, and so you ended up playing on the track. Like, how did that shake down there?
So I mean, like that's one of like the great things about just being able to record, like just, you know, in your home, where, you know, it started with just some guitar being tracked, and then having the guitar, like that outline of it, I was able to just kind of go in and just kind of build it from there, to be able to like show like, well, this is basically a complete product. Like the drums are definitely keepers if you're happy with how things sound. And like you can get things now to the point where it's like, wow, I can hear more clearly where this is heading. So it's not like maybe like when we were first growing up, where we would have like that little tape deck on the cassette and just press record, and like it was like all blown out because the microphone couldn't handle it. But now it's like you can have like something ready to go and really hear where this song could possibly be now, with all these additional parts being added to it. And that's basically what happened with Time and Space.
That's amazing. So I noticed that you guys drop albums, which is very traditional. For the most part, you know, I don't see a lot of singles on the category, but you have the ability to record yourself at any point in time. So what is the thought process in regards to how you curate the songs into a collection and then release them to the world?
I really like albums, love albums, but I know that, you know, maybe the attention span for long albums really isn't there. So it's usually like, you know, a half hour or so of a record, which is like longer than an EP and shorter than a usual LP. So it's like somewhere in the middle. But I like complete thoughts. I like, you know, going on. It's not necessarily like one of those concept records when we do it, but I like going on a journey. I think releasing like a song or two, you just get like excited to start to hear more from a band, and then you're just like, oh, that's it, you know. So I know, like we drop singles before the album comes out as like a prelude to it, but it's always a prelude to the album. It's never just like a one-off, you know. I think that Mountain EP was like the only one-off, like 2-songer specifically that we did with the intent to do that, but it was only because the money was only there for 2 songs, and that was right before Justin was involved. So, you know, I don't know. I love just putting on something and just going on you know, the peaks and flows and all that. So, yeah. That's all I got for you.
For sure. Pat, let me ask you a question, and this is going to tie back into the band. I feel like there are really great lyrical threads to pull from that almost could lead to like an idea for like a script here, like Fuel for the Time Machine. What an interesting concept. You know, like you never think about that. You never think about how they're getting the fuel for the time machine, and then you wrote a whole song around it, right, Jay? And it's just like this really cool concept. So as a filmmaker listening to the lyrics, Pat, I'm curious, like, how has that been for you?
Oh, for me, you know, I feel like the music lends itself for a great journey. Like, you know, oh man, I keep forgetting the Never-Ending Story. You know, with the giant like puppet flying in the air.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. The music definitely is chill vibes, and I don't know. I would like to see like a fantasy sci-fi. I think with Of the Atlas music. What do you guys think in terms of like where your music would fit into you know, movies, televisions, or what would be like your dream music video? What would that look like?
Music video, I actually, I'm not saying this to be against the music video. I really don't like music videos for the most part, unless they're like just visual stuff. Like I think we're working on one right now where we're actually in it for a change. But I just generally feel like we're musicians and we're not actors, and like singing into the camera specifically and all that kind of stuff can kind of be corny, because if you already write some sentimental type songs here and there, it's just in my opinion. This could change like next week. I don't know. Just how I've been feeling. But yeah, I'd say like I'd love our songs to be in every movie and TV show, license them all. And then if we can make more money, we could just pump out more records, and we can maybe do 3 a year instead of 1 every 2 years or whatever it's been. I don't know. But I'm not against, making enough money so I can really do more.
What about you, Justin or Evan? Like, if you had the chance to have a song of yours, of the Atlas, featured in any movie, any scene, is there anything that comes to mind that you think would just be a perfect fit?
God. I don't know. I mean, are you talking specifically about of the Atlas songs, or just like having like a song in general, like a part of a movie soundtrack?
Your songs in a movie. We can even rewrite history here. If you were watching like Blade Runner, you're like, they picked that song?
They picked that song? Oh my God. I mean, I don't know, but like one soundtrack specifically that does come to mind, but I don't think there was actually any like songs like with lyrics in it, is the Dark Knight soundtrack. That soundtrack, like when I'm thinking of like soundtracks that are just like phenomenal and like just like perfect for the movie, like that one always comes to mind. And then because I saw like this whole thing about how they got the sounds from it, and they were doing so many like just obscure random things to get like the sounds to build tension in it. So it's more like I would love to have one of my songs a part of like a soundtrack that I just think is just so perfect and classic and epic.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Evan?
I feel like replacing all the Eagles songs with our songs in The Big Lebowski, where the running bit is that he freaking hates the Eagles and they keep playing their songs. And like the scene where he like drops the joint on his lap and crashes his car and spills his drink. If we were playing during that would be hilarious.
Yeah, you notice how I said I wanted to make money from licensing to make more records? It wasn't because I wanted a souped-up car, expensive clothes, or big mansion or anything. It was just right back into music.
No, we respect the creativity, and I think that was an excellent segue, Jay. This was a fun interview. There's another one coming just around the corner, but for the meantime, I think it's time that we get back to some rock and roll. So, gentlemen, can you take it away with your third set of the evening for us?
Yes. Hopefully the humidity doesn't break strings. This song is called Goin Nowhere.
Think I could die now if I don't live with you, or at least I'm telling myself that I will. I'd walk away from it all if I could reach you. I'd walk away from myself if I could. Going nowhere, I'm not the same when you're loving me. You're going nowhere, so just don't bring with you walking on me. I'm dying slowly, but I feel like I'm there now. I smoke as much as I can in the waves. And then one day when I'm out to do the laundry, she's showing up and she's kissing me again. For sure, you're going nowhere. No, I'm not the same when you're loving me. You're going nowhere, so just don't bring it with you walking on me. The same when you're loving me. You're going nowhere, so just don't bring it with you walking on me. You're going nowhere. I'm not the same when you're loving me. We're going nowhere. So just don't bring it with you walking on me. You're going nowhere. I'm not the same when you're loving me. We're going nowhere. So just don't bring it with you walking on me. We're going nowhere. Offered umbrella for this rough, stormy weather, and you ought to be brave just like anyone. Offered umbrella for this rough, stormy weather. Gotta wake up and see you're not the only one. Sit in the haze, sit in the dust. Don't throw it away, just work to get it back. Do you wanna be a pessimist, a son of a gun? Do you wanna make it work and believe it? Your spirit will die if you let it. Yeah, it's time to get it again. Your spirit will die. Offered umbrella for this rough, stormy weather, yeah. And you ought to be brave just like anyone. Offered umbrella for this rough, stormy weather, yeah. Gotta wake up and see you're not the only one. Ooh. Jet street for days with the color rush. Don't throw it away, just wait to get it back. Do you wanna be a pessimist, a son of a gun? You wanna make it work and believe it. Your spirit will die if you let it. Yeah, it's time to get it again. Your spirit will die. Your open minds won't stand for shame. Brave the weather, we'll be back one day. One day. I'm bracing again. I'm bracing for this rough, stormy weather again. I'm bracing again. I'm bracing for this rough, stormy weather again. Whoa. It's got me bracing again. Ooh. off, lift into outer space, maybe free from the Milky Way. We explore the unknown, we got to get it going. We could take off, ride with the waves in the sky up ahead, or just climb up some tall sound waves over here, so we got to get it going. Oh, oh, yeah. Chasing something I cannot know, so I burn it all up in this song. We could take off, lift into outer space, maybe flee from the Milky Way, explore the unknown, we got to get it going. Just a couple of clicks and away we go, disappear from reality, explore the unknown, we got to get it going. Oh, oh, yeah. Isn't it love? With you I belong. Am I chasing something I cannot know? So I burn it all up in this song.
Incredible. Yeah, so we have a little bit of time left with you this evening, but before we go any further, we do really want to thank everyone at home for tuning in to another Our Band Show episode 29, if you can believe it, and we really appreciate all of the viewership over these past couple years. It means a lot to us, and we thank you for allowing us to showcase great bands from our area, like of the Atlas. So thank you very much. With that said, guys, we have our final interview segment this evening. It's a lightning round, rapid fire round, if you will. So quick answers. We want to keep this one moving because we just think that makes it the most fun. So let's start from the top of our list. We can go around the room. You can jump in however you want to do it, whatever comes to mind first. What is one take about the music industry that you deem to be a little too controversial?
Oh, my God.
We'll let Justin start with.
So we were just actually talking about this today, where it's just crazy to me how artists probably today are making the bulk of their money from the endorsements that they do that are completely unrelated to the music itself. With streaming, Spotify, where you get 1 million plays and you're barely getting $4,000, where like the Sabrina Carpenters and things like that, like where she's making probably more money from endorsing a Dunkin' Donuts drink than what she's making from the actual music. So it's like now today we just look at music as this free commodity, and it's more like a vehicle that I can now use to make money, but from other ventures that are completely not related to the music itself.
So if we license our songs, we can make enough money, and then we can get more merch out there, like coffee cups. And
Good callback to the previous interview. And what you just said, Justin, I personally agree with as well. And it makes me think maybe Lars Ulrich wasn't so crazy.
Maybe Lars was right. I mean, the number of artists today that are like selling their own coffee now, like I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, how many bands have their own coffee now? It's like, come on.
of the Atlas whiskey.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Napster was the downfall of really taking the reason why you should support art and pay for it and just like, throwing it to the ground, I think.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
start of it all. For sure. Well, great answer. Great answer. Let's keep this moving. What is a song that you think is overrated or underrated? We're talking like, I don't know, Smash Mouth's All-Star or something Nickelback. We don't have to use those two, but I'm talking songs that get that kind of flack or don't get enough praise in your mind. Whatever comes first, we'd love to hear it.
I mean, not to jump in again, but like I know one of my favorite songs is Jeff Buckley's version of Hallelujah. I mean, I don't know how more people don't, have that as like in their top 5, top 3 of just an incredible performance and version of that song, which obviously the original one is also very good. I mean, the song itself is incredible, but his particular version of it is just mind blowing to me.
I totally agree. He breathes a whole new soul into it, and it helps that his beautiful tenor is delivering it,
Absolutely. Yeah.
What about you, Jay? Any song that comes to mind that is either overrated or underrated?
Well, I'm gonna go with underrated because I don't want to just say anything bad about anybody's stuff. So, underrated. What's a really underrated song? I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of pop music, so in my work car. So I don't. It's hard.
Maybe that's all properly rated.
Yeah, it's all like you either love it or you hate it. So some of it I love, and I wouldn't look at who it was by, because I haven't listened to pop music since I was a kid. I've avoided it at all costs. As I was saying to somebody here, and I feel like the more I listen to pop music, be like, that's that guy. I thought I didn't really like that, whatever, and I do. And then some of them is like somebody you figure would be somebody I would like, and I didn't like the song. So, I don't want to name anybody specific because I don't want to say something bad.
Fair enough. No problem. Evan, anything come to mind for you?
Britney Spears' Toxic is a great song. I don't know if it's actually underrated. It is in my circles. That's a fantastic song.
I would say it's been a little forgotten, and I can agree with you on its use of chords, I think, is very brilliant.
The production is flawless.
Was that Max Martin?
I don't even know. I just love the little violin stings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Genius.
I love that. All right, well, I guess we talked about overrated or underrated songs, but I'd like to know what a desert island artist for you is. If you could only listen to one artist for the rest of your days, you crash landed, and this is all you have, is that one CD in your Walkman, to throw it back to my favorite show, Lost, which comes to mind. What would be in that CD player?
Oh, so just one CD, not just one artist's catalog.
However you want to take it, yeah.
So, I mean, I actually have thought about this question.
You know what? I'll give you the catalog because that sounds like not a fun time, being on an island with just one CD. So.
And I would have to actually go with the Foo Fighters, only because I was thinking about this actually the other day, where it's so many of their albums, because a lot of when we listen to music, there is that nostalgia purpose to it. It brings us back to a moment in time, and their particular catalog just kind of does that for me, so many different moments, when I started college or when I was still a teen or whatever, but also they have just enough songs across enough albums where I wouldn't get bored that quickly. So.
And they're very, as a Foo Fighters fan myself, it's all rock, but they're exploring, kind of like you guys, I would say, they're exploring all the different areas of rock you can dive into.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other bands where I have an album that I love way more than any of the Foo Fighters albums. But it's as a catalog, I probably would not get sick. I could stand listening to that catalog for probably the longest period of time.
Cool. Let's keep it at the catalog mindset then. Jay or Evan, who would like to jump in?
You want me to go?
I got one. Yeah. It's impossible to pick just one, but since I already shouted out most of my other favorite bands, I think Steely Dan would be my pick. Just the absolute best production, just perfectionist to the max, genius writers, and that's it.
Great choice.
I go with Justin Bieber. I'm just kidding. Probably My Morning Jacket.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, another band that I think their catalog is so eclectic and all over the place that if you had to have one, you're at least getting such a wide sonic palette.
It's 20 years. It's been there for so long, such a big chunk of my life. So I didn't, obviously it's not something I was a little kid when I heard, I heard, Nirvana or Dinosaur or something like that. But yeah, it seems like they have the great overall palette, like you're saying. So.
And I'm going to chime in and answer one of your guys' questions. The underrated, I'll throw My Morning Jacket out there. I know they're big. I know they've been doing it for a long time, but I still have always felt like they just haven't really gotten the true credit they deserve. So I'm going to shout them out there.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Pat, this is always the bittersweet portion of the program where we're starting to wind down. Of course, though, we still have a final set of rock and roll for you guys, so don't go anywhere. But, I start to get sentimental here, Pat. I'm hoping you can cheer me up, man.
I don't know what to say, Chris. It's been a great evening, and the evening is not quite over. We still have a great final set of the Atlas to play, and they're going to do a great job. So you have this great thing to look forward to just here in a minute when we wrap up this segment. But before we do that, I just want to go ahead and thank our fantastic crew. Without them, we wouldn't be able to put on this show at all and record great bands like Of the Atlas. So let's give it up for that amazing crew that volunteers each and every month. This month we happen to have Dan Chester, Eric Greenop, Steve Montana, Kira Stack, Mike Kudo. So we have a great mix of folks helping us out in the studio. Maybe they can wave if they can. Maybe you can see them back there. But I really do appreciate their help, and without this, it definitely would make this a lot more difficult than it is.
Yes, 100% well said. And thank you to all of our great friends who do the show with us. Of the Atlas, where can people find you? Where can they keep up to date with your music?
All those streaming sites that everybody uses. Take your pick. They're all there. I don't want to say corporation's name here, but we're on all those things. Anything it can be on, it's pretty much on, except maybe TikTok or something. I don't know. But our songs are on TikTok. I don't know.
Cool. And where can they find out about your next shows?
You could either, most of the stuff is on our website, oftheatlas.com, or you can go to, generally I'm on Instagram more than, I'm naming corporations now. I'm on Instagram more than any of the other sites. We have Facebook stuff and YouTube. Follow our YouTube page and our Spotify page. God, I had to say it.
Well, let's name an independent business. What venue are you playing next, and where can they come out and see you? Or what town are you playing a show in? Tell us.
So we're playing the day one of the Rosendale Street Festival. I believe we're 2:00. I'd have to double check on that, but it's listed. But that's our next show, and then we're going to kind of have an easy July, and then I'm sure I'll have a bunch more announcements near the end of July going into August, shows and stuff. So
amazing. And when is that Rosendale Street Festival? Do you have a date for us?
July.
I think it's the 19th.
Maybe the 19th.
Okay,
but
so it's coming up.
I'd have to specify whatever day one is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. And just go to oftheatlas.com, guys, to keep up to date with all things of the Atlas, and listen to them, of course, on all the streaming platforms. That said, we just want to thank you one last time before we kick it to the band to do a final set for being here with us on our 29th episode. We absolutely love doing this show, and we love sharing it with you guys even more. So from the bottom of our hearts here, we really appreciate it. And, I think the best part of our program is that we end on some rock and roll, and we have 3 songs for you here to sign the evening off with. So I'm gonna hand it over to the band one last time. Thank you guys for allowing us to bring you some great music into your house or your couch or wherever you're watching this evening. And this song is called Time and Space.
Thanks for having us, by the way. You guys have all
you.
been really sweet to us, so just throwing that out there so everybody knows. All right, so these are 3 songs off our newest album called The Spirits of Water Street. And speaking of Water Street, go to Avalon Lounge in Catskill and tell them I sent you. All right, this song is called Time and Space.
It's always been when you're around. I can feel it when you're shining through. from the night. When it's you just being yourself. When you're healing, when you're radiation. And I'm just happy that you exist. Talking to you, everything's aligned. Talking to you, everything's alright. Talking to you, I don't feel alone. Talking to you, I feel like I belong. Talking to you, everything's aligned. Talking to you, everything's alright. Talking to you, I don't feel alone. Talking to you, I feel like I belong. Oh, with you. I'm losing track of time and space when I get to see you. Your energy is my escape. I'm losing track of time and space when I get to see you. Your energy is reflected on me. Talking to you, everything's aligned. Talking to you, everything's alright. Oh, talking to you, I don't feel alone. Talking to you, I feel like I belong. Oh, talking to you, everything's aligned. Talking to you, everything's alright. Talking to you, I don't feel alone. Talking to you, I feel like I belong with you. With you. Where your tired soul, I guess you had to face your demons. And all that time gone, these pretty words that have no meaning. And I'm not giving in just yet, 'cause it still kills us. So we can do it all again. Living alone, yeah. Give me my love. I guess I had to face my demons. And some will come and go, but this moment's never leaving. And I'm not giving in just yet, 'cause it still kills us. So we can do it all again. Leave it alone, yeah. It's fine now, leave it alone. It's fine now, leave it alone. It's fine now, do it for you. Remove the feeling now, it alone just fine. dreaming. Embrace the feeling now, it'll all just find a way to you. Gotta see it all find a way, yeah. I'm not giving in just yet, 'cause it still heals us, so we can do it all again. Living now, yeah. It's fine now, leave it alone. It's fine now, leave it alone. It's fine now to fall. I'm not giving in just yet. No, I'm not giving in just yet. No, I'm not giving in just yet. No, I'm not giving in, baby. It's like I do it all for you, baby. Falling. It's like I do Love goes along with you. For all these years, those corny words that I still hate, no longer that way with you, 'cause I love you, darling. So pick you out from a billion and more, 'cause flower girl, you mean the world to me, flower girl. Spin you round and around, right at the end, always dancing around. Darling, take me by the hand, oh, flower girl. Story goes just like this, a sad and empty kiss. That was the time we shared together. Still thinking of you and what you would do if I didn't run away, so alone and ashamed. My peace has cost them all their own. My peace has cost them all their own. I'm okay, but I'm examining my self-worth. Let's go! Face it, it's time to change the pace here. I keep running a race that I'm not supposed to be in. Stubborn and uncompromising, I'm giving advice, but I'm really just lying. We laughed it up, we held each other close. It's a stupid dream, we're out here on our own. I know you don't have to tell me. I know you don't have to tell me. Won't you burn my body till I can't get up? I can't get up. Flashing lights and hazy dreams. I need to stop now. I need to scream. And I can't get enough of you. I won't go. I won't go. Won't you calm me down and cool me off? My lungs are burned with this gasping. I need your hands, I need your tongue. Oh, calm me down and cool me off. Yeah, I need your hands, I need your tongue. Oh, calm me down and cool me off. Yeah. He was born on a Saturday in '73. He loves punk rock music. Friday the 13th. Cabin in the dazzle jam. On the bass guitar with the short quick radio blast. This motherfucking Andy Scolding. Look at motherfucker, 'cause here it comes. Andy Scolding, wearing his orange hat.
Welcome to Unsigned 518. I am here with Hayley Stafford. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And, you know, I want to thank you, first of all, for doing this on such short notice. I actually had a quick opening, and I just, sent you an Instagram message. I was like, hey, you want to come on the podcast this weekend? And you were like, yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
And then it happened that quick. So I appreciate that. But, you know, as we start the episode, you know, we talked a little bit before we got recording, where I said I just want to know, how you got started in music. I've seen your stuff on social, I've heard your music, and I guess just tell us the story of Hayley Stafford.
Yeah, definitely. That's a long one. But when it comes to music, I guess I've always been kind of a musician. Since before I can remember, I was writing little songs in my head as a 4-year-old. And when I was about 9, my grandma got me my first album, which is Speak Now by Taylor Swift. And it inspired me a lot. And I was getting bullied in school when I was in 6th grade, around the time that she got the album for me. And there was a school talent show. And I had no history with actual singing. I was not good, but I was like, I'm going to stick it to the haters and I'm going to sing at this talent show in front of my whole school. Didn't change anything, but my pop-up was in the audience and he said, I see something special in her, so I'm going to get her singing lessons. So then I started taking singing lessons at New York School of Music in Walden, New York. And I kept taking them until I was 18, and I did a lot of local stuff with the music school, playing in bands, and I learned guitar and piano when I was 13, 14 to put music behind my songs. So I've been in it for a while.
That's funny because a lot of people do the opposite. They'll be like, I really want to learn guitar. And then they learn guitar. And then they're like, well, now I have to learn to sing to put lyrics to my music. But you did it backwards.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And now taking vocal lessons, just from people, because a lot of my listeners are singers, you know, and I've always thought it interesting how some people can just do it. Mm-hmm. And I've always wanted to, because I'm not someone who can just do it. I've always wondered the process of singing lessons and going to school for it. Beyond just singing, it teaches you muscle and where things come. It literally teaches you how to use your body as an instrument.
Yeah.
From what I've picked up. Do you feel that the same with?
Absolutely. I've kind of fallen out of technique and stuff, which I'm trying to get back into, because I think that everyone who wants to sing, at least have longevity with singing, should take singing lessons, because if you don't sing properly,
Right.
you could damage your vocal cords forever. So you want to be able to sing for a while if that's what you plan on doing. And I feel like sometimes people will say, oh, you know, I have natural talent. I don't need singing lessons. Like, I just do it.
Right.
It's like, you can have natural talent, but I think that singing lessons are really important and shouldn't be ashamed. It doesn't mean that you're like not as good because you had to take vocal lessons.
Right. And I almost think that like people with natural talent could probably benefit the most from,
Absolutely.
you know, or at least could advance the quickest, because they're like, oh, I've already got this fucking base level where I'm like here, you know, just teach me how to get there. Whereas, you know, like someone like me, if I was to take singing lessons, I would be taking very base level, you know, like teach it. I'm in a punk rock band. Like I always say like, I don't have to sing well. I just have to sing loud.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Definitely.
And I can do that, but it would be nice to be able to sing well, which, yeah, but so, you know, you've started early, obviously, with music, and then by the time you're like, you know, preteen, teenage years, you're now adding instrumentation into it. Like, when does, like, and you said you were kind of writing songs like when you were 4 or whatever, but like when you were in those preteen years learning guitar and piano, were you writing your own compositions then?
Yes, I wrote my first like official song with chords on the piano when I was, I think 12 or 13.
Oh, wow.
And it was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I was like playing it a little while. I was like, damn. Yeah.
And do you take, like, because I guess like as like a songwriter, you know, I mean, I don't know how old you are now, but I'm assuming, you know, 13 is a couple years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So like a lot of people, when they take like earlier songs, like I love that you just said, oh, like it was like pretty good, because like so many people are like, oh, I hate everything that I wrote. Like, and I think you need to take all, like keep all that stuff and love all that stuff and be proud of all that stuff, because it steps along the way. So
100%. And not to bring up Taylor Swift again, but like a lot of the stuff that she didn't put on her original albums that she released, like she has this huge fan base, so now she releases like vault tracks and re-records her albums, and everybody loves it. So
yeah, and I mean that's cool too, to like embrace your earlier work, especially someone at that status, to be like, you know, because a lot of people just pretend that it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I love that I'm comparing myself to Taylor Swift.
Hey, you know, like you gotta, like, I've said many times, like on the show, like people need to embrace their influences. Like it bothers me a little bit when people are, you know, like, oh, you know, I don't really listen to a lot. It's like, no, you listen to music and you have influences, and like
100%.
embrace them, you know, and be like, so compare yourself to Taylor Swift. That's a great comparison, you know, do it. Like, I love it. And we're talking now, you know, so now that I've got an age range. So for the last 10 years, you've been playing guitar, writing songs, doing piano. Like, do you have a preference as to which one's your main instrument, or are you back and forth?
I would say it was piano, and it's shifted into guitar because the guitar is so easy to like lug around and so easy to play. I definitely switch back and forth. Like, I have periods where for a couple years I only write songs on the piano, and a couple years where I only write songs on the guitar. I'd say right now I mostly use the guitar.
And how much of a catalog do you have that's like out that people can get?
I only have one song out right now.
Wow, all right.
It was recorded, mastered, and produced by Shannon Taya. She's extremely
I know
talented.
Shannon. Yeah.
I listened to her episode actually
right,
when it came out. But yeah, so it's just The Hospital right now. But I am in the process of recording 3 other songs, and I was running the numbers, and I have like 80 songs that are either finished or mostly finished. So I have enough to like record and like basically fill a career already. I just need to record them and put them out there.
Well, that's cool though, to be at that point, to be like, all right, now, you've been a songwriter and a performance artist, and to be like, and now I'm going to be a recording artist.
It's exciting.
And, to have like that point to be like, now we're doing this and already have a catalog, because a lot of people don't have a catalog, then they're like, oh, I don't know, we got to write some stuff because we got studio time. So you have plans now for a couple more singles, and then who knows, maybe an album.
100%. That's what I'm working towards, is I want to record at least 12 songs. I have a vision board that I've had for a couple years of like the album cover, the songs that are going to be on it, the exact instruments, the way it's going to be produced and stuff like that. So once I have the songs, I'm locked and loaded.
Right.
Good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you can slowly release your vault songs.
Yeah, the vault tracks.
You can have
Hayley's
your vault
version.
tracks. Yeah, exactly. So embrace that comparison. That's awesome. So we're not, today we're not going to hear The Hospital, but that is out on streaming. But you're going to play some songs live. Or is that one of the songs you're going to play live?
Yes, it is.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. So we're talking now. What is it? I'm like, what year is it? 2025. You're like that one song out, and now there's 3 you said already in the works. Are they?
Yes.
Recorded, just not mastered, or?
Well, all 3 are kind of being recorded and mastered at the same time.
Nice.
My first official studio session was actually this past Tuesday. So.
That's exciting.
Like, I'm so excited about it.
To be like, oh, I'm catching you right at like the launch point.
The up and up.
Yeah, because releasing music it's an exciting thing, and even though it's difficult to do it like yourself or whatever, to have that control over what you put out is amazing.
100%.
Like 10 years ago, you couldn't do that. Or I guess maybe 10 you might have been able to, but I'm old. Like 25 years ago, you definitely couldn't put your own stuff out and have people hear it.
Yeah, it wouldn't get attention like you could, but
sure. But now you can put it out, and you have listeners on other continents that are like digging your shit. And
like social media and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. What a time to be alive. But so since you brought your guitar and we're going to hear some songs, what was the first one that we're going to hear?
It's called Moonbeams.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about it before you play it?
Yeah. It's about sleepless nights when you just get really angry because you can't fall asleep, and then you're like, whatever, I'm just going to take a walk outside at night, which I don't recommend. But I took a walk outside on one of those nights, and I started talking to the moon like a crazy person, and I wrote a song about it and how it can feel comforting, and you can feel like a main character when you're sad.